Welcome to Unstoppable Mindset. There is a power that most people spend their entire lives searching for, but very few ever discover. It is not money. It is not influence. It is not physical strength. The greatest power a human being can possess is the ability to remain calm when everything around them is falling apart. Anyone can smile when life is easy. Anyone can feel confident when everything is working in their favor. But your true character is revealed when pressure arrives unexpectedly. The moment people insult you, reject you, disappoint you, or when life refuses to go according to your plans, that is when your real strength becomes visible. The world teaches people to react instantly. Someone speaks harshly and you answer with anger. Something goes wrong and you panic. A challenge appears and fear begins controlling your decisions. But the strongest people in history were never controlled by their emotions. They understood that emotions are wonderful servants, but terrible masters. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every respected parent, every wise teacher, and every person who has left a meaningful legacy mastered one skill before anything else. They learned how to stay calm. Calmness is not weakness. Calmness is controlled power. Think about the ocean. On the surface, storms may create enormous waves, but deep beneath the surface, there is incredible peace. That is how your life should become. Challenges may shake your surroundings, but they should never shake your foundation. Many people mistake loudness for confidence. They think raising their voice proves strength. They believe reacting quickly shows courage. In reality, the person who controls themselves possesses greater power than the person who tries to control everyone else. Your mind was never designed to become a prison filled with fear. It was created to become a place where wisdom makes decisions. Fear clouds judgment. Anger destroys perspective. Panic steals creativity. But calmness gives birth to solutions. Have you noticed that during emergencies, people naturally look for the calmest person in the room? Nobody follows the person who is panicking. People trust the one who thinks clearly under pressure. That should become your identity. Become the person whose peace brings confidence to everyone around you. Life will never stop testing you. Difficult conversations will come. Financial challenges may appear. Relationships will face misunderstandings. Opportunities may disappear. Unexpected disappointments will arrive. None of these events determine your future. Your response determines your future. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control what happens within you. That is where true freedom begins. Many people surrender their peace far too cheaply. Someone's opinion ruins their entire day. One negative comment destroys their confidence. One setback convinces them to quit. One failure makes them question their value. Never give another person that much authority over your inner world. Your peace is valuable. Guard it, protect it, develop it. Remember this: pressure never creates character. Pressure reveals character. Whatever exists inside you eventually appears when life becomes difficult. If fear lives inside you, pressure will reveal fear. If wisdom lives inside you, pressure will reveal wisdom. If peace lives inside you, pressure will reveal peace. That is why personal growth is so important. You cannot wait until the storm arrives before deciding to become emotionally strong. You prepare before the storm ever begins. Just as athletes train before competition, your mind must be trained before challenges appear. Your thoughts become habits. Your habits become character. Your character shapes your destiny. Every single day gives you an opportunity to practice calmness. When someone interrupts you, choose patience. When traffic delays your plans, choose peace. When criticism comes your way, choose wisdom before words. Small moments prepare you for life's biggest battles. Most people lose because they underestimate the importance of daily discipline. They think greatness appears during extraordinary moments, but greatness is built during ordinary moments that nobody notices. A calm mind is not an accident. It is the result of consistent choices. Never confuse movement with progress. Sometimes the wisest decision is not to speak immediately. Sometimes the strongest response is silence. Sometimes the greatest victory is refusing to argue. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your response. Not every insult deserves your energy. Your time is limited. Your focus is precious. Spend both wisely. Understand this principle. Whatever controls your emotions controls your life. If compliments control you, criticism will destroy you. If success controls you, failure will crush you. If circumstances control you, peace will always remain temporary. But when your values control your decisions, external events lose their power over your inner world. There is confidence that comes from knowing who you are. When you understand your purpose, you stop allowing temporary situations to define your permanent identity. A tree with deep roots does not fear strong winds. Likewise, a person with deep convictions does not fear difficult seasons. People often ask why some individuals remain peaceful while carrying enormous responsibilities. The answer is simple. They have learned the difference between responsibility and worry. Responsibility inspires action. Worry produces exhaustion. One solves problems, the other multiplies them. You were given a mind to think, not to constantly fear. Every challenge carries within it the possibility of growth. Every obstacle teaches something valuable. Every disappointment develops maturity if you allow it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What is this situation teaching me?" That single question changes everything. Growth begins where blame ends. Remember, storms eventually pass. Difficult seasons never last forever. But the person you become while walking through those seasons can remain with you for the rest of your life. Therefore, refuse to allow temporary discomfort to produce permanent damage. Stand firm, think clearly, speak wisely, act intentionally. Protect your peace because your future depends upon the quality of your decisions, and the quality of your decisions depends upon the condition of your mind. When your mind remains calm, your vision becomes clearer. When your vision becomes clearer, your choices become wiser. When your choices become wiser, your life begins moving in a direction that reflects purpose instead of panic. That is real strength. That is lasting confidence. And that is the mindset that turns ordinary people into extraordinary individuals. Most people believe calmness is something you discover during a crisis. But that is not how life works. You do not suddenly become calm when pressure arrives. You become calm because you prepared your mind long before the pressure ever appeared. Every challenge simply reveals the condition of your thinking. If your mind has been filled with fear, then fear will speak first. If your mind has been trained with wisdom, then wisdom will lead your response. Think about a pilot flying an airplane. Pilots are not trained while the aircraft is already in trouble. They spend countless hours practicing difficult situations before they ever face one in real life. They repeat the same lessons over and over until responding correctly becomes natural. When an emergency happens, they do not rely on panic. They rely on preparation. Your life works the same way. Every day is an opportunity to prepare your mind so that when unexpected problems appear, you respond with confidence instead of confusion. Many people wait until life becomes difficult before they start searching for peace. They wait until they lose a job, experience rejection, face financial pressure, or encounter disappointment before they decide to strengthen their mindset. But the strongest people understand that preparation always comes before performance. You cannot expect your mind to remain steady under pressure if you have never disciplined it during peaceful moments. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant consistently will eventually grow. If you constantly feed yourself with negativity, fear, endless comparison, and self-doubt, those thoughts will become deeply rooted. Then, when difficulties arise, your first reaction will naturally be worry and anxiety. But if you consistently plant thoughts of hope, wisdom, patience, gratitude, and purpose, your mind will produce strength even in the middle of uncertainty. Every thought you entertain is shaping the person you are becoming. That is why you must become the guardian of your own mind. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your agreement. Not every piece of bad news deserves a permanent place in your thinking. Learn to filter what enters your mind, because what enters your mind eventually influences your decisions, your emotions, and your future. One of the greatest mistakes people make is allowing the outside world to determine the condition of their inner world. They wake up and immediately allow headlines, social media, criticism, or other people's negativity to dictate their mood. Before they have even started their day, their peace has already been stolen. Never give your environment that much authority over your life. Your circumstances may change every day, but your mindset should be anchored in something greater than temporary situations. Training your mind is not complicated, but it requires consistency. Every morning you have a choice. You can begin your day expecting problems, or you can begin your day preparing yourself to handle whatever comes with wisdom and courage. The words you speak to yourself matter. The habits you practice matter. The people you surround yourself with matter. Every small decision either strengthens your mind or weakens it. Do not underestimate the power of quiet moments. Some people are constantly distracted because they are afraid of silence. Yet silence is often where clarity is born. When you slow down, reflect, and think with intention, you begin to understand yourself better. A calm mind is not created by living a life without noise. It is created by learning how to remain focused even when the world around you becomes noisy. Life will always present unexpected storms. Plans will change. People will disappoint you. Opportunities may not unfold the way you expected. There will be seasons when answers seem delayed and obstacles appear one after another. These moments are not meant to destroy you. They are opportunities to reveal whether your foundation is strong enough to carry you through. Imagine two buildings standing side by side during a violent storm. One was built quickly with little attention to its foundation. The other was built carefully, with time invested in making sure it could withstand pressure. From the outside, both buildings may have looked equally impressive before the storm. But when the wind began to blow, only the one with the stronger foundation remained standing. Your thoughts are the foundation of your life. If you invest time in strengthening them every day, life's storms may shake you, but they will not break you. Remember that confidence is not the absence of challenges. Confidence is the result of preparation. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the ability to think clearly while facing them. Strength is not pretending that difficulties do not exist. Strength is refusing to allow those difficulties to control your decisions. Every single day gives you another opportunity to train your mind. Practice patience when things do not go your way. Practice gratitude even when life feels ordinary. Practice discipline when distractions compete for your attention. Practice positive thinking when negativity surrounds you. These daily choices may seem small, but over time they transform your character. When the next challenge arrives, and it will, you will discover something remarkable. You will not react the way you used to. Instead of panicking, you will pause. Instead of fearing the worst, you will search for wisdom. Instead of allowing emotions to control your actions, you will let purpose guide your response. That is the reward of preparing your mind before the storm. Calmness is not a gift reserved for a few people. It is a skill that anyone can develop through daily discipline, intentional thinking, and the decision to grow stronger long before life demands it. One of the greatest battles you will ever fight is not against another person. It is not against your circumstances, your past, or even your failures. The greatest battle is the one that takes place within you. The battle between your emotions and your wisdom. Every single day, your emotions will urge you to react quickly, while wisdom will quietly encourage you to pause, think, and choose the right response. The direction of your life depends on which voice you decide to follow. Emotions are a natural part of being human. Feeling joy, sadness, excitement, disappointment, fear, or frustration does not make you weak. These emotions remind us that we are alive. The problem begins when emotions become the leader of our decisions instead of simply informing us about how we feel. Feelings are real, but they are not always reliable. They change with circumstances, while wisdom remains steady even when everything around you is uncertain. Think about how many mistakes people make in just a few moments of uncontrolled emotion. A few angry words can damage a friendship that took years to build. One impulsive decision can destroy an opportunity that may never return. A moment of panic can lead someone to give up just before a breakthrough. It is rarely the challenge itself that causes the greatest damage. It is the emotional reaction to the challenge. Strong people are not those who never feel emotional. Strong people are those who refuse to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. They understand that every emotion should be acknowledged, but not every emotion should be obeyed. There is a big difference between feeling anger and acting in anger. There is a difference between experiencing fear and allowing fear to stop you from moving forward. The strongest person in any room is often the one who speaks the least when emotions are high. They understand that silence can be more powerful than a quick response. They know that once words leave your mouth, you cannot take them back. That is why they choose their words carefully. They recognize that wisdom often arrives after the emotion has settled. Imagine a captain steering a large ship across the ocean. Storms will come. Strong winds will push against the vessel. Massive waves will strike from every direction. If the captain panics every time the weather changes, the ship will never reach its destination. Instead, the captain remains focused on the compass, not the storm. In the same way, your values, your purpose, and your principles must become the compass of your life. Let them guide your decisions instead of allowing every emotional wave to change your direction. Many people spend their lives trying to control everyone around them. They want to control what people say, how people behave, and how situations unfold. But real maturity begins when you realize that the only person you can truly control is yourself. You cannot stop someone from criticizing you, but you can choose not to let criticism steal your peace. You cannot prevent disappointment, but you can decide how you will respond to it. Self-control is one of the greatest forms of freedom because it places your future in your own hands instead of leaving it in the hands of circumstances. Every day presents opportunities to practice emotional discipline. Someone may disagree with you. Someone may misunderstand your intentions. Plans may fall apart. Delays may test your patience. These moments are not interruptions to your growth. They are your training ground. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your ability to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with impulse. One simple habit can transform your life. Learn to pause before you respond. A brief moment of reflection can prevent years of regret. When emotions rise, ask yourself, will this decision still make sense tomorrow? Will these words build something or destroy something? Am I responding from fear, anger, or wisdom? These questions create space for better choices. Remember that calmness is contagious. When you remain composed during difficult moments, you become a source of stability for others. Your family feels safer. Your friends gain confidence. Your coworkers trust your judgment. People naturally look to those who remain steady when pressure increases. Your emotional discipline does not only benefit you, it influences everyone around you. Do not confuse emotional control with pretending that nothing hurts. Real strength is not hiding your feelings or ignoring your struggles. It is recognizing your emotions without allowing them to become your master. You can acknowledge disappointment while still choosing hope. You can feel fear while continuing to move forward. You can experience frustration while speaking with kindness and respect. The truth is that every emotion has an expiration date. Anger fades, fear passes, excitement settles, sadness eventually lifts. If you make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings, you may create consequences that last far longer than the emotions themselves. Wisdom teaches you to wait until your mind is clear before making important choices. The quality of your life is shaped by the quality of your responses. Two people can face the same setback, yet one becomes stronger while the other becomes discouraged. The difference is not the situation, it is the mindset. One allows emotions to lead while the other allows purpose to take the lead. As you continue your journey, make a commitment to become the master of your emotions instead of their servant. Practice patience when you are tempted to rush. Choose forgiveness instead of resentment. Respond with understanding instead of anger. Let wisdom speak louder than impulse. Every time you do, you strengthen your character, protect your peace, and move one step closer to becoming the person you were created to be. True power is not found in controlling the world around you. It is found in controlling the person within you. Every challenge that enters your life immediately asks you one important question. What will you choose to focus on? Your answer to that question will determine whether you move forward with confidence or remain trapped by fear. The reality is that every problem demands your attention, but it does not deserve all of your attention. There is a difference between recognizing a problem and becoming consumed by it. Wise people acknowledge the challenge, but they invest their energy in finding the solution. Many people become experts at describing their problems. They can explain every obstacle, every disappointment, every unfair situation, and every mistake that has been made against them. They spend hours talking about what went wrong, replaying painful memories, and imagining even worse outcomes. The more they focus on the problem, the larger it appears. Eventually, the challenge begins to control their thinking, their emotions, and their actions. They become so overwhelmed by what is happening that they lose sight of what is possible. Your mind works like a magnifying glass. Whatever you consistently focus on becomes bigger in your eyes. If you focus only on fear, fear will seem impossible to overcome. If you focus only on failure, every opportunity will look like another chance to lose. But if you begin focusing on solutions, your mind starts searching for possibilities instead of excuses. Suddenly, what once looked impossible begins to reveal a path forward. Think about a person driving a car on a long journey. If they spend the entire trip staring into the rearview mirror, they are likely to crash. The rearview mirror has a purpose, but it was never designed to become your primary focus. In the same way, your past mistakes, disappointments, and failures can teach valuable lessons, but they should never become the place where you permanently live. Your eyes must remain on the road ahead, because your future is always in front of you, never behind you. Every successful person has faced obstacles that seemed impossible at the time. They experienced rejection, setbacks, delays, criticism, and moments of uncertainty. What separated them from everyone else was not the absence of problems. It was their refusal to allow problems to become their identity. They understood that every obstacle carries within it the seed of a valuable lesson. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they asked, "What can I learn from this? What is my next step? How can I grow because of this experience?" Those questions change everything. Questions direct your thinking. If you constantly ask negative questions, your mind will search for negative answers. If you ask, "Why do bad things always happen to me?" your brain will begin collecting evidence to support that belief. But if you ask, "What opportunity exists within this challenge?" your mind begins searching for possibilities that you may have overlooked. The quality of your questions often determines the quality of your future. There will always be things outside your control. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control unexpected setbacks or every decision that others make. But you can always control where you place your attention. That is one of the greatest gifts you have. When you stop wasting energy on things you cannot change, you free yourself to improve the things you can. Imagine two builders standing in front of the same pile of bricks. One complains that the bricks are heavy, uneven, and difficult to work with. The other begins building a strong foundation. Both received the same materials, but one saw a burden while the other saw an opportunity. Life often works the same way. The circumstances may be similar, but your perspective determines your outcome. Do not misunderstand this principle. Focusing on solutions does not mean pretending that problems do not exist. It does not mean ignoring pain or denying reality. It means refusing to let the problem become bigger than your purpose. It means believing that while the challenge is real, your ability to grow, adapt, and overcome is also real. A calm and disciplined mind does not avoid reality. It faces reality with courage and wisdom. Sometimes the solution does not appear immediately. There will be moments when answers seem delayed and progress feels slow. During those times, patience becomes part of the solution. Growth often happens quietly. A seed does not become a tree overnight, yet every day something important is happening beneath the surface. In the same way, even when you cannot see immediate results, keep moving forward. Every small step, every lesson learned, and every wise decision is preparing you for a breakthrough. Another important truth is that complaining has never solved a problem. Complaining may provide temporary relief, but it does not create lasting change. Action creates change. Learning creates change. Discipline creates change. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have spent improving your situation. Instead of asking who is to blame, ask, what can I do today that will move me one step closer to the solution? That simple shift in thinking can transform your entire life. Remember that pressure has a purpose. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Strong muscles are built through resistance. Great character is developed by overcoming challenges. The obstacle standing before you today may be preparing you for responsibilities that you are not yet able to see. Do not waste your energy wishing for an easier life. Instead, become a wiser, stronger, and more resilient person. Every problem carries two possibilities. It can either become the excuse that holds you back, or it can become the lesson that moves you forward. The choice belongs to you. Train your mind to look beyond the obstacle and search for the opportunity. Focus on what you can build instead of what you have lost. Concentrate on the next right step instead of becoming overwhelmed by the entire journey. When you choose solutions over problems, you stop living as a victim of your circumstances and begin living as the architect of your future. That is the mindset that keeps you calm, strengthens your character, and leads you toward lasting success. One of the greatest responsibilities you have in life is protecting your inner peace. The world will constantly compete for your attention. There will always be unexpected problems, negative opinions, disappointments, delays, and people who misunderstand your intentions. If you allow every situation to enter your heart unchecked, you will spend your life emotionally exhausted. Peace is not something you accidentally keep. It is something you intentionally protect every single day. Many people believe peace comes from having a perfect life. They think when I have more money, I will be peaceful. When all my problems disappear, I will finally feel calm. When everyone approves of me, then I will be happy. But if your peace depends on perfect circumstances, you will spend your entire life chasing something that never arrives. There will always be another challenge to face and another obstacle to overcome. Real peace does not come from the absence of storms. It comes from developing the strength to remain steady while the storm is still happening. Never give people the power to decide how you feel about yourself. Some people will appreciate your efforts while others will criticize them. Some will believe in your dreams while others will doubt them. If you build your confidence on the opinions of others, your emotions will rise and fall every day. One compliment will make you feel valuable, and one criticism will make you question everything. That is not freedom. True freedom begins when your sense of purpose is stronger than the voices around you. You must understand that not every opinion deserves a place in your mind. People often speak from their own experiences, fears, limitations, and misunderstandings. Their words may describe their perspective, but they do not define your potential. Learn to listen with wisdom. Accept constructive advice that helps you grow, but do not carry unnecessary negativity that only weakens your confidence. Your mind is too valuable to become a storage place for every careless word spoken by someone else. Purpose gives direction to your life, and direction protects your peace. A person without purpose is easily distracted. They chase every opportunity, react to every criticism, compare themselves with everyone they meet, and become discouraged whenever life changes unexpectedly. But a person who understands why they are living does not lose focus so easily. They know where they are going, and that clarity gives them stability during difficult seasons. Imagine an archer aiming at a target. If there is no target, every arrow misses because there is nothing to aim for. In the same way, if you have no clear purpose, every distraction becomes attractive. Every opinion feels important. Every setback feels final. But when your purpose is clear, your decisions become easier. You stop wasting energy on things that do not move you toward the life you were created to build. One of the greatest enemies of peace is comparison. We live in a world where it is easy to compare your progress with someone else's success. You see people achieving goals, buying new things, traveling to exciting places, or receiving recognition, and suddenly you begin questioning your own journey. But comparison steals gratitude and replaces it with frustration. Remember that every person has a different path, different timing, and different responsibilities. You do not know the full story behind someone else's success, just as they do not know yours. Stay focused on your own assignment instead of measuring your life against someone else's timeline. Protecting your peace also means learning when to let go. Not every disappointment needs to become a lifelong burden. Not every mistake deserves endless regret. Holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness does not punish the people who hurt you. It weighs down your own heart. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness is choosing not to let yesterday continue controlling your tomorrow. The moment you release unnecessary emotional weight, you create room for hope, wisdom, and new opportunities. Another important habit is learning to celebrate small victories. Many people delay their happiness because they are waiting for one huge achievement. They ignore the progress they are making because they are only looking at the distance that remains. But growth happens one step at a time. Every lesson learned, every disciplined decision, every fear you overcome, and every obstacle you face with courage deserves recognition. Gratitude strengthens peace because it reminds you that even during difficult seasons, there is still something valuable to appreciate. Purpose also gives you the courage to say no. You cannot do everything, please everyone, or accept every invitation that comes your way. Every time you say yes to something that distracts you from your purpose, you are saying no to something more important. Wise people protect their time because they understand that time is one of life's greatest treasures. When your priorities are clear, your schedule becomes healthier, your mind becomes calmer, and your life becomes more meaningful. Remember that your peace influences everyone around you. Your family notices it, your friends feel it, your coworkers respect it. When you remain calm during difficult moments, you become a source of strength for others. People are inspired by those who stay steady when pressure increases. Your example often speaks louder than your words. As you continue your journey, make this decision every morning. Protect your peace, guard your mind, and stay committed to your purpose. Refuse to let temporary setbacks steal your permanent joy. Refuse to let criticism silence your dreams. Refuse to let fear keep you from becoming the person you are capable of becoming. Walk through every challenge with confidence, every disappointment with wisdom, and every opportunity with gratitude. A peaceful heart creates a focused mind. A focused mind produces wise decisions, and wise decisions build an extraordinary life. When you protect your inner peace and live with purpose, you discover a strength that no circumstance can take away, and that strength becomes the foundation for lasting success.